Hello everybody, this is Chad the Gaming Dad here on Dad's Games, and this week's video is going to be all about the old saying, make new friends, but keep the old. Except we're going to change it to play new games, don't trade your old. Alright everybody, so make new friends, play new games. My newest game that I've been playing a ton of recently is Rocket League. I mean, this game is cool. It appeals to anybody who likes racing games, competitive games, even like shooters and sports games, pretty much anything. I mean, this game is really good. You get addicted to it like crazy. You go on there, and I mean, every time I turn on my PlayStation, I have to play at least a few rounds of Rocket League. And right now, it's still free. As of today, when I'm making this video, it's still free if you are a PS Plus member. That's going to change on August 4th when the new games come out. So, if you're watching this before August 1st...
Wait a minute. Strike that. Reverse it.
So if you're watching this before August 4th, grab yourself a copy for free. I mean, it's totally worth it. It's even worth it if it's not free anymore. If you have to pay for it and it's 20 bucks or whatever, grab it. It's totally fun, really addictive, and you're going to love it. The thing that keeps you hooked, the thing that keeps you coming back for more, is that it's easy to start. The controls are pretty easy, and you can get the gist of it in just like 5 minutes. But there are advanced techniques, and those are a lot more hard to master. It takes a lot of time to get good at some of the specialty moves and everything. You really want to take your time and learn that. My advice to everyone when they get this game, do the tutorial. Do the tutorial. I know you don't usually like to do tutorials in games. I don't like doing them that much either, but do the tutorial because it actually teaches you some of the more advanced moves, and it's going to help you a ton when you're actually playing online against real people. That brings me to the next thing. Remember, it is a team game. When you are online with other people, obviously if you're in a team with your friends and stuff, you guys are going to know what's going on. But if you're just a random person and you're getting thrown into games, jumping in, you can't really decide who's going to do what. But if everybody tries to score at the same time, then it's not going to end well. Somebody needs to play a little bit of defense. This is a team game. If you look at the footage that I got here, I actually played this online and it set me up for a 2-on-2 game, which was pretty fun. But then my partner, whoever he was, whoever he or she, whoever they were, they dropped out of the game, and so it became a 2-on-1 game. And wouldn't you know it, Chad the Gaming Dad still came out on top. Yeah. Okay, so that's enough about my new friend Rocket League. Very cool game. But that leads me to the second half of this video called Keep the Old. Don't trade in the old. I'm going to tell you a quick story. Years and years ago, I had a lot of Gamecube games. This was in the time when Gamecube, Xbox, and PS2 were out, right? Usually you would go to GameStop, and these games that you'd trade in, they'd give you what, like $3, $4, $5 maybe if you're lucky? Well, I had 2 games on Gamecube, and each one was worth $15 trade, which seems like, you know, $1 million at GameStop, right? So I was tempted. This was years ago. I can still picture it in my mind. I can still see the store. I can still see myself handing the games over. I know I'm sick like that, but I can remember that. What I can't remember is what I traded them for. I have no idea what I traded those games in for. I just know that I traded them. And wouldn't you know it, after all these years, and now I like to collect games, and these were good games. They weren't bad. Obviously, they were taking them in for trade. Problem is GameStop knew what I didn't realize at the time, is that these games were not huge releases, but good games, and so that's why they were giving me good trade on them, because they were going to mark them up quite a bit before they sold them. So here they are. The games that I traded for $15 each years ago were Pokemon XD and Ikaruga. Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was haunted by these games for years and years. Every time I would go into a used game store, or every time I would go to the flea market or whatever, I was always on the lookout for these games. Because I realized I really shouldn't have traded those years ago. Those games are awesome, and now that I have a good GameCube library going in my collection, there's 2 very big holes that I need to fill. Because I used to have them. They were mine, right? So, what I did is I did find these. I don't normally find great deals on eBay or on Amazon, but in this case I found a good deal on each. So, here it is. Pokemon XD. Gale of Darkness. Pretty cool game. Not terribly hard to find, but because it was something that a lot of people liked, Pokemon XD usually goes for like about $50 at used game stores, and even higher than that on eBay. I actually was able to find one for less than that with shipping included, so I jumped on it. Had to. But finally, this hole has been filled in my old collection of GameCube games. The other one is the legendary Ikaruga. This game's great, and I know that it came out on Xbox Live Arcade. In fact, that was my reasoning back in the day for why I traded it, because I thought, hey, I got it on my Xbox, I could just play it there if I want to play it, right? Well, that version's okay. This is the really good version. The GameCube version is where it's at. This is the one you want. Another good deal, I found Ikaruga on Amazon. I actually searched, I don't know, I just periodically look at like the values. I think there's a price charter, nesvalues.net or something like that, but it also has all these old consoles, you know, GameCubes. It has pretty much everything on there. But you can click on it, it'll show you what's trending as far as how high or low prices go. You can click on that and it will give you links, actual links to eBay and Amazon showing you where to look. And sometimes the average that it has on there is skewed by maybe a store like GameStop that has it listed online for $20, but they don't have any copies of it. So you might as well take that out of the factor. You know, it's not really something you can grab. But I did find a listing for Ikaruga on there, and again, this game goes for $50 up. I've seen it into the 80s and 90s on eBay, and I was able to get it for less than $50, shipping included, and the game's in good shape, plays well, original box, everything for both of them. So yay, I finally got my GameCube games back. But look at that, look at all that work. I could have just kept my $30 back in the old days. I don't know what I traded these in for. Must not have been something I needed that bad. I just wanted a new game at the time, and that was a way of paying for half of it. My advice to all you guys out there, don't trade your games. It's just not worth it. Unless you absolutely are done with it, you're not going to collect, and you don't care anymore, maybe then. But for the rest of us, keep them. Because you're going to want them again someday, and you're going to have to pay twice for it. Alright everybody, that's it for this week's episode of Dad's Games. We'll be back next week with another video. If you have any suggestions or any games you'd like to have me cover, please put them in the comments. In the meantime, I'm off to play my old GameCube games that I finally got back. Don't trade them. And remember, you never outgrow video games. I am Chad the Gaming Dad, and thanks for watching. So long everybody.